Hey there viewers, my name's Torinski and welcome back to another Wednesday stream. Today we're going to be jumping back into Super Auto Pets. I thought it would just be a regular old day, just like the couple weeks before, but when I booted up to play a quick single run this morning off camera, I was surprised to see that the beta branch updates have been pushed to the main game here, so it's going to be an interesting time trying to experiment with all the new changes that were made to the various critters and creatures throughout the game here, as well as see how the player base reacts to the shaking up of the game that we've known and loved for the last little while here. Plus, on top of that, we're of course interested in still trying to get that level 3 victory or level 3B victory, and so I'm hoping that with the meta being thrown into the mixer a little bit, maybe people are a little more uncomfortable, a little bit more on a back foot, and maybe, just maybe, we can leverage that advantage to get us one of these much sought after victories. Got pretty close last week, couldn't quite cut it. We'll have to see how the bee operates within the new meta that will be unfolding over the next little while here. So I'm pretty excited. And without further ado, let's get ready to hop into it. I was thinking instead of going over all the patch notes, I haven't even really looked over them myself. We'll just kind of go into a run here and see what we can notice between the different animals. There are a few of the changes that I'm aware of peripherally, but still very excited to see how they all shake out. Like, immediately I can see that horses have been changed. Still give +1 attack till end of battle, but slightly better stat line. Okay. Then good ol' ant, good ol' otter. Ain't nothing changed about that. So, as we saw last week, I'm probably going to be starting up here with a bit of a warm-up run. We won't worry too much about the bees quite yet, but don't you worry, we'll get there eventually. For now, it's more about sticking our feet in the water here, trying it out. Also, let's not buy an otter first. That doesn't seem smart. Instead, let's start with the bee, not a bee, an ant. Totally different insect. Brain is already shutting down here. Too used to the bee runs or something. But let's maybe get a big ant going for our first run back. That'd be fun. Mosquito looks the same here. Same with beaver, so that's all good. Oh no. Oh, okay, we got lucky there. Meant to put it right on top, but held for just a second longer than I otherwise should have. But it kind of works out. We can keep these two separate now instead. Probably will help us get through this first round. Maybe with a victory. We'll see how it goes. Got eager, gushing, and cartoony. Shovels, tentacles, and hipsters. Gushing tentacles is probably the most disturbing. Eager hipsters. Eager shovels. Let's go cartoony tentacles. Nice and lighthearted for the start of the stream here. Let's try this one on for size. I think fish is still same old, same old. Okay, it popped up for a split second there. I think it still said +1/+1. We did unfortunately lose our very first run of the day. Not fantastic, but it'll be totally fine. And there we can confirm for ourselves, fish does look to be the same. Which is good. That's definitely one of my standbys. Something that we can get behind there. And what else have we got? I mean, second tip for the fish there sounds good to me. And then last but not least, oh, pigs have their stat line changed. I think I even bought a pig earlier today in that single run that I played. Didn't even notice whatsoever. I was using them as a dragon stimulant, so that does kind of make sense. But alrighty, a 3-1, a pig? I definitely usually value health over attack, but it's interesting how they'll work out in this new system, because so many of the changes, from what I saw at the very least, seem to be pushing things in the direction of higher health, less attack power on all the critters here. Can try you out at least for now. Use our last little bit of money there wisely, and can always sell you later for at least a little bit of a return. Okay, 3 squad. That looks better to me. I think we can actually beat this. Beautiful. Absolutely fantastic. Level 2. No level 2 to show up. This is one that I saw earlier, and why I was kind of thinking that things were trending a bit more towards the health side of things. ducks no longer giving attack is definitely interesting. But I do like it because I think the ducks were far too strong ever since the health update changed things in that regard. But regardless, we'll probably be leaving them alone for now. I also just realized looking at Mosquito again. Normally this said like deal 1 damage to a random enemy. So the fact that it's changed to be a 1 makes me think that there's something fishy going on here. Maybe a leveled up Mosquito gets a bit interesting. In fact, let's just combine you two for now. Let's bring in a said Mosquito. See if that changes anything moving forward. And the question becomes, do I sell the pig now? I mean, I guess a flamingo is just a better version of the pig in terms of overall contribution to the squad here. And I don't want the pig to get the otter buff. So let's get rid of this son of a gun. Pop you in here. Early ox. It's actually probably pretty solid. Put you just behind our ant friend here. Something to that extent. Let's do it. And get a couple of rerolls to cement what we're going to be doing in the future. We did buff up the ant a little bit, but that doesn't mean that we can't kill it in the future, especially with the ox on the team. Might be nice to get that melon armor smack down on that buddy. Summon a level 1 tier 3 pet as 2/2. So the level 1 descriptor is new there. Guessing that's what's changed. You look the same. You look the same as well. Beautiful. Well, definitely freeze the Mosquito, and let's head off into the next battle here, shall we? Cartoony Tentacles versus the Fizzy Mushrooms. I like that name. Whimsical and cute. Wait a second, did the ox get stronger? I didn't even really pay attention. No. Oh, just got hit by our ant buff, I'm guessing, without me really noticing. That makes sense. I had no clue how it got to 5 attacks suddenly out of nowhere, but the world makes sense again. Okay, swans have gone down a little bit in stats, which definitely seems fair. I feel like I was very much addicted to the swan life. And crabs, I noticed earlier today, were different. Copy health from the most healthy friend on buy now. So instead of being able to just stack up one buddy and let the crab kind of get pulled along behind, you have to commit a little bit more on that side of things. Definitely interesting. Well, I think we will kill this ant here. Beautiful. I was definitely hoping it would hit you, get that 5/5 going. In fact, let's still kill something in front of you so you get buffed up. And swan still seems pretty good to me. Crab doesn't seem great because we don't have any high health across the board right now. Let's maybe roll a couple times, see if anything changes our mind. Dodo, have you been? Yes. Start battle, give 50% of the dodo's attack to a friend ahead. So definitely a bit of a nerf there. Better stat line across the board. But I'm guessing this is going to be like 50%, 100%, 150%. Usually how the scaling goes on the level ups in the game at the very least. It's a whole new world that we're living in now. I'm gonna eschew the dodo for now. I feel like this new update is a good time to start stretching our legs beyond the dodo rooster meta that was just completely taken over in the past. Wonderful. Definitely winning this one against the moist cakes. Sounds delicious, unfortunately. Team's not quite as good as your baking. Ooh. Now this is interesting. I probably just want to get rid of this otter. If not right now, then at least very soon. Could do it for the badger. We want to take advantage of the fish buff across the whole party here. I mean, we could run 2 swans for a while as well, don't get me wrong, but that sounds kind of nifty to me. So let's bring in a badger, swap this buddy down, level up everybody. Parrot definitely got a change to their stats here. It's weird because I don't even remember what their old stats were, but I feel like 6-3 is different at the very least. And copyability from the pet ahead is a level 1 until end of battle. Is that... Oh gosh, I'm stuck in the limbo of, is this new? Is it the same? And I just never paid that close attention to the parrot. They definitely always copied the ability. But was it always just at level 1, or was it always exactly as it says on the tin? Interesting. We'll almost definitely be getting this swan. Let's roll once to see what else gets popped into the mix here. Question becomes, do we want to level up, or not level up, but upgrade our fish once more? Or do we want to get a little bit of a honey badger play going in the back end? I think I will just freeze you. And I always like me a good honey badger. Even if we might be getting rid of the honey badger anyway, so it seems a little bit pointless potentially. But let's try it on for size at the very least. Okay, interesting. Elephant camel. Such a fun idea. Unfortunately, never works out quite as well in practice as the theory might dictate. But hey, still sounds good to me. A win's a win. Always happy with that. Interesting. Garlic is always pretty solid, but let's most likely start off with the swan upgrade. And do I want to swap in for deer? Obviously nice to counter certain things. Murder a cheeky spot 2 scorpion on the other team. Potentially get rid of roosters, but those aren't quite as big of a problem as they used to be. That's one of the changes that I think I have heard about at the very least, because we saw that the dodo had been nerfed, but I'm pretty sure roosters have been too. And we'll just have to see how exactly they might have been changed. Well, I think we keep... I kind of want to sell the fish. And in fact, thinking about it for even a moment longer, maybe I should have just sold the fish. Let's roll once. Okay. If we got another swan, I was willing to potentially even sell the fish. Go that route instead, but we'll build into this ox business for a bit. It's not like we could have afforded 2 items anyway, so it's not a big change of pace. Ooh, and I did want to see what you do. I feel like I'm going too wide across the board here. We have no star of the show at the moment. The Melon Armor on the ox will hopefully kind of elevate us for the next few turns here, but I'm also curious how my kind of internal judgment on the stat lines of my characters might be incomplete now with the changes in the new update. Usually I'm looking for a double-digit stat by the time we get to round 7 here. Ox of your own. Beautiful work, Honey Badger. I knew I could believe in you. Absolutely fantastic. We have all our dank spots frozen, but that's fine. Let's start with the mosquito. What do you do? Oh, you have been changed. So that text we noticed did come in handy. Or did come in relevance, I guess. This is more accurate. Deal 1 damage to 2 random enemies. Okay. Makes mosquito, I think, more viable for late game, actually. Because it makes them, instead of like early game, you're sniping things and potentially killing off horses, maybe other vital backline targets. Later on, even a level 3 mosquito dealing 3 damage to something wasn't very likely to kill it, unless it was maybe like a baby scorpion or something. But now with this being 1 damage across multiple, it's almost a greater counter to Melon Armor. At least that's my first gut reaction to it. Interesting. Don't know if it was worth it freezing multiple of you. I guess we could just buy. At the very least, ox, we're getting you. Cow. Okay, replace shop food with milk, and milk has been slightly nerfed. Just giving 1 attack and 2 health now. Still pretty solid, I think. Seal, never change. Exactly how you've always been, friend. And, last but not least, what do we wish to do here? Garlic Armor probably will play or pay dividends if we invest in it now. And if we're keeping this mosquito around, Might as well bring you up some stats. I will probably keep the swan, even though it feels a bit off. And I think I'll freeze the cow because I'm most likely selling this dang fish. Unless things truly take a large shift over the next turn here. It's weird being put out of your comfort zone. Everything's new and exciting. Not sure how to feel about what's showing up for us so far. The shy astronauts. Aw, that's cute. Also, our garlic armor did exactly what it was meant to do there. Fantastic. Saved us exactly one hit, or gave us exactly one hit, I guess is the better way of phrasing that. So you we buy. Fish, I think we say goodbye. Could try and... Oh, I think I maybe should have killed you in front of my ox. Ah, well, that's fine. Gives us a little bit more money to work with at the very least. And then the question becomes, cow now? Cow now, brown cow? And who gets the milk? Probably should go to our oxy pal. They'll have a little bit more health than damage, and then they'll get offset when the mosquito dies in front of them. A little bit of an interesting synergy going. Squirrel has definitely been changed. I saw this one in my earlier game. Start of turn discount, shop food by 1 gold. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I saw this, in my one off-camera run this morning. I got really excited, thinking cheaper food. I had a worm at the time. It seemed like a match made in heaven, absolutely brilliant. What I failed to recognize is that this effect only triggers at the start of your turn with whatever is currently in your store. So you unfortunately can't roll for multiple things. If you freeze something before, that's I think when it works best. Potentially even making stuff free if it's frozen long enough, but I think that's a little bit of a long-term investment. But definitely wild. You'll be less useful in the upcoming B runs than we used to imagine you might be. And Turtle got way nerfed in terms of stat, which seems very much fair because Melon Armor was kind of the big selling point in the first place. Regardless, let's freeze you for now, friend. And then we could get a 312 crab. Meh. That don't impress me much. Let's instead freeze this roll once more because we'll be selling our lovely cow friend. Again, bath cow behind me. Don't look. I'm about to sell your friend and I don't want you to see my horrendous moves here. And I guess bring in Turtle up front. Overwrites the garlic armor, but that should work out for us at this stage in the game, and then we'll keep buffing up our ox for now, I guess. Yeah, I'm definitely in a bit of a limbo state here. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea how our team will fare coming up here. I mean, it actually seems alright in this makeup. That honey badger is going to absolutely slap somebody out of existence, which is going to be rough. Oh, in general, this is going to be a rough one. You son of a gun. They trumped me. The honey badger. No, how dare you. That was very satisfying little chain of events, though I can't complain too much. And they did have a level 2 honey badger. So how about that? Alright, cans have been changed as well. Given slightly less health. Interesting. I feel like cans were always a trap for me anyway. I got way too excited about the idea of everything in the store having 10 plus stats in each department across the board here. Usually got to that stage, but then was way too far behind in terms of actual team and just got crushed. So I think they're saving me a little bit by nerfing that down. But you know what, let's just roll with it. We're not going to think too hard. This is just a practice run after all. Bit of a warm-up, a chance to stretch our legs. I also should have thought about freezing the penguin, I think. We have a lot of level 2s here. We're definitely a little bit behind on the scaling game, don't get me wrong. But we'll get there. And perfect sleeping pill is exactly what I wanted. Because I think We'll smack you. Give Mesquite some extra armor. Then I guess you should just go in front of the honey badger since you're going to die anyway if you aren't. Could sacrifice it, more blood for the badger god, but this seems alright. Get a few rerolls. Happy to get you. More buffs across the board. Don't mind if I do. We kind of want chocolate, so I don't think I'll freeze a pair in the shop. Also, dog, I think, is the same stat-wise, but tier 3 now. So that's interesting. I guess it shifts down when you'll get a dog. This nerf definitely makes sense to me, because I feel like on a good day, on a good run, you could have like a 10-20 dog by turn 7, which is just absurd. Way more powerful than it had any right to be. But that's definitely going to be an interesting wrench thrown into the system here. And here's the infamous roosters. So now they summon a chick with half the attack instead of equal attack. I like it. I like it. Very excited to see how these little shifts and changes are going to be thrown into the meta here. Okay. We're seeing a decent number of oxes already. Is ox big now? Is everybody on that ox train? Okay. That penguin exactly made the difference there. Fantastic work, buddy. You did great out there. You cute little one too. But time to get our badger growing as well here. And we might as well go a little bit deeper for the rerolls. Is it worth it to try and upgrade you? Maybe take melon armor off multiple targets? It's a weird one, but let's just go with it. Again, kind of just rolling with the punches. Whatever the game wants to hand us, we'll be pretty happy about, even if that is just an apple for our last buy here. Okie dokie. I am already very sad that we didn't pick up that first penguin we saw. It took my brain a split second longer than my hands to notice what was going on. Oh, and we killed the scorpion for free there. That kind of worked out nicely. Fantastic work, team. You're doing brilliant. Somehow. It's been a bit of a weird one, but maybe I just need to go with my instincts. Let the game flow through me here. Maybe, just maybe, it will be what we need in life. Level 3 Swan. Sounds good to me. Tiger. Oh, Tiger's been changed for sure here. The tiger, or the friend ahead, probably not tiger, the friend ahead repeats their ability in battle as if they were level 1. So upgrading the tiger actually matters now. Interesting. I'm always very interested in the idea of running a tiger behind a badger. It does some wacky stuff in the field. We probably should acknowledge the bison here as well. It's a bit late, turn 11, but the fact that this squad is winning already is blowing my mind, and I have no idea what to expect moving forward. So there is that. Oh, hey, Brain. How's it going? Hope your day's been well so far. Welcome, welcome. I feel like I could agonize over this decision for an eternity. At the end of the day, the bison is not better than the penguin, because the penguin is going real wide right now, which seems kind of nice. So I think we'll have to say no. I might freeze the tiger, just on that slight chance that we get a little Mimi with it in a moment here. Snake, have you been changed? You haven't. Ooh, okay. That's definitely one of my favorite characters here. I'll even freeze you for now, because why the heck not? And last but not least, is it worth upgrading the ox this way? I don't think so. Putting the attack bonus up a little bit doesn't speak to me too much here. I think I would rather just take a +2/+2. Anywho. I have no idea. Let's try it out. And we are against the Pouting Teapots. Cute. Okay, we do take out the mammoth. In fact, Mosquito, you were a champ, friend. You did great work out there. Love to see it. I don't like this shark. very, very scary. But Honey Badger does the trick. I was about to question, to wonder, to ponder. And you do just need that level 2 Badger to absolutely obliterate anything in the back line. Fantastic work. And now, the question becomes, do we want to invest anywhere else? The reason why I'm wondering it now is because this level 3 Swan is either going to get melon armored and continually buffed by our penguin, or we could sell them right now, dig deep to try and get multiple snakes going on. I guess our Ox attacking twice, which it's likely to do with melon armor, not guaranteed if there's a 50 attack enemy coming up against us here. Which means this will deal 10 damage somewhere across the board, almost equal to the Swan. And then it also hits for its base stats here. It won't be upgrading, but with 16 gold, holy crap, after selling this, maybe we can dig deep, dig hard, find a good snick batch here. Might regret everything in life, but let's try it out. Bring you in. I think I will actually melon you so you at least stay alive for those hits. Chocolate is exactly what I was looking for. In fact, let's just buy that right away, and then we have 3 more rerolls. I'm looking for snake or chocolate. Not quite. Okay, monkey's been changed. It's now a tier 5, 1, 2, so a bit more in the same lines as the penguin, interestingly enough. But it gives +3/+3. Okay. So scale's a bit harder a bit later. I like it. I like it for sure. Especially if you get this on, is it turn 7 that tier 4s unlock? Upgrade something for a +3/+3 buff? That's wild. But okie dokie. Do we keep upgrading our Badger pal? Or we could roll deep, hoping to set up for next turn. Let's commit. Honey Badger, you've done great work for us so far, I believe. Try that one out. I also didn't mention it, but I like the little denotion marks? I don't know. Separation marks that they now show to give a beginner an idea of how many upgrades it takes to level up. Can't talk at all, but there we go. First game back here with the new update, at least on camera. Second game overall, though. We managed to get through with a win, so it's fantastic. But it also makes me deeply uncomfortable because I have no idea how this squad managed to win. It doesn't look that impressive, at least kind of comparing it to the old standards. I wouldn't have expected it, but here we are. So maybe, just maybe, that means everybody is on enough of a back foot that B build is actually going to work. Are you telling me that level 3B might actually be slightly more achievable now? Maybe, maybe.